Yeah, you got that fucking old coffer man laugh.
Yeah, sometimes. Anyways, all right. He's got it. He's gone. On this week's episode of The Video Store, Frank considers life as a beach bum. Josh goes on a Santa Clarita diet, season 3. And finally, Frank spills the dirt on the dirt.
Machine Gun Kelly's a pretty good actor. Welcome to the Video Store Podcast, where almost every week, we review movies, TV shows, and other things we watched and look ahead at what's streaming, on demand, out for rental, and in theaters this week. My name is Frank. I'm joined by Joshy Hot Buttons. How's it going?
Joshy Hot Buttons. That's my name. Don't wear it out.
All right, man. Let's talk about some trailers in our segment we title Thoughts and Trailers. You watched all
Thoughts
these.
is like a broad term there. Thoughts.
Yeah, it's a play on thoughts and prayers.
We're just going to call them trailers.
If you haven't figured that out by now, Josh. Up first is Brightburn. There's the latest trailer is out. I'm excited for this, so I've stopped watching the trailers. I pretty much trust all things James Gunn. But what'd you think of it?
It seemed cool. It's got that weird superhero but eerie, sadistic feel to it, so it could be cool.
Yeah, like really playing out a what if. What if, Superman was bad? And it has a really cool look into it. It's produced by all the Guns, Mark Gunn, Brian Gunn.
That's a lot of guns.
Yeah, the Gunn boys. And it's directed by David Yarovsky. It's his first film, but he's worked on a bunch of stuff with James Gunn. He's got 12 little minor director credits. But anyways, I think it looks good. It's starring Elizabeth Banks as well. I'm going to see it. It's going to be in theaters May 24th, so it's coming up pretty soon. It's a definite watch for me. How about you?
Shall I say take it or leave it?
Okay. If you're still a listener to this podcast, you give it that.
See?
What?
Why? So, let's just keep it going.
All right. I usually don't follow the every step of a production in a movie, but you can't help but with Joker by Todd Phillips, I feel like it's always online. It's a big story every time a photo drops or Mark Maron or someone's.
Look what he looks like. Look at him now.
They've done a really good job at teasing.
He just did his eyebrow.
Yeah, you agree though, right? They've done a really good job of fake viral marketing this thing.
Yeah, for sure. It just makes you want to see what the fuck's going on. So it was fun to finally take a real look at it.
And what'd you think, man?
Seems pretty fucking cool, and I love Joaquin, so I'm down.
Yeah,
pretty down.
Todd Phillips, man, he had a great run. At one time, he was before Judd Apatow, the Money in the Bank comedic director, and then he just kept making The Hangover over and over again.
Idiot, dude! It was let's not get into that.
But he's made some really good stuff, and this is an interesting turn for him. In addition to Joaquin Phoenix, they have a bunch of people I love. De Niro is in this, Zazie Beetz, and Brian Tyree Henry from Atlanta, and a bunch of cool comedians like Brian Callen, Mark Maron. So I'm looking forward to this because it just has a unique tone so far in all the production and the trailer. So definitely going to see that when it's due out in October.
Ooh, wow. You think they're going to do a Halloween release?
It's early October, but it's going to. I think.
And no would be the answer.
Venom of all movies showed that you can make money in October. That's usually not a big theatrical release month, but I think you're onto something. Everyone's got that horror movie vibe. People definitely watch as many horror movies in that month as they do the rest of the year on average.
True that.
Yeah, so that one looks really good. You're definitely going to see that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and finally. This is hyped up as the greatest zombie movie cast ever. That's been the tagline, some variation that's been the tagline in all the production and advertisements for The Dead Don't Die, the return of Jim Jarmusch, director I really like a lot.
Jim what?
Jarmusch.
Okay.
Yeah. You saw Coffee and Cigarettes, right?
Yeah, that seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, his most recent one, Patterson, I thought was great. It also stars Kylo Ren aka Adam Driver, and he's
Huh.
in this new one as well. What'd you think of this trailer, though, man?
Dude, I love Bill Murray. I love him so much. I hope he is immortalized in everything we get to watch forever. I could see him in every single movie I watched and be okay with it.
Yeah, he's like our generation's uncle. He's like America's uncle.
He could be my dad. I don't care. Hopefully he is my dad.
America's cool uncle. But I mean, it does have a pretty good cast for a zombie movie. I don't know. I mean, Zombieland you could compare it to. But you got Chloe Sevigny, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Steve Buscemi. Yeah, Selena Gomez. Okay. Bill Murray, Tom Waits, Danny Glover.
Yeah, I love seeing Tom
Rosie
Waits in this.
Perez, Iggy Pop, RZA. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you should tout that cast. That's definitely brag worthy.
Right. Like, I wonder how, did everyone take like a minimal amount of money to have fun in this movie?
Probably. He's one of those directors that has such a reputation and he's a unique style. So yeah, I imagine that's how this got made. But yeah,
Oh, it'll be fun.
it's besides being a zombie movie, the plot summary online right now is the peaceful town of Centerville finds itself battling a zombie horde as the dead start rising from their graves. Did you think like
Okay.
this trailer showed anything different in the zombie genre?
No, not particularly.
Just looks fun.
Yeah, dude, I'll check out anything with the amount of people they've stacked in this thing. At worst, it'll be slightly entertaining.
Cool. All right. Yeah, all three of those films I'm looking forward to, and I forgot to check when that one's coming out. June 14th. Hopefully it gets a nice theatrical run because usually Jarmusch movies are, just art house type stuff if you see them go through your town at all.
I probably will. Alamo.
You fucker. I forget you have an Alamo.
I have like two Alamos. I have a South Alamo and a North Alamo.
You piece of shit. Dude, they have a subscription too. I don't know if all the Alamos do.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's so much shit going on there all the time that I'm like, oh, I want to go to that. Oh, I want to go to that.
I'm thinking about traveling to Denver.
Oh?
Yeah.
You want to go to an Alamo show?
I'm going to travel to places where people let me crash, so I only have to pay for airfare. So if that offer is up, let me
Okay.
know. Yeah.
You just gotta like 3 hand jobs and we'll call it even.
If I'm staying at least 3 nights, I can't turn down that deal.
Okay,
That's what I
done.
do. But real quick, we'll get into what we saw. But people like when people ramble on podcast. So does your Alamo have this strict policy? Like if people pull out their phones, they ask them to leave?
I haven't seen it,
'Cause
but
that's the reputation they have.
I'm sure it's probably exists. Who pulls out their phone
Oh,
to record a movie?
no, just to like text, dude. Or like, people have that fucking thing. I don't know why you need it.
Yeah, the comedy place has it that I used to work. The little pouches where they would magnetic your shit.
Those are awesome. I wasn't gonna say that, but like people have their phone set where it flashes and makes
Oh
noise.
God, and like strobes.
Yeah,
Well,
like-
okay, I do understand that phones do make noise.
Yeah, but it's like the strobing light, the flashlight.
Yeah, that's an idiot move right there.
Yeah. Why do they need that?
Because they're fucking deaf.
Why would you need a phone then? I guess
Because you can still text.
I've seen way too many of those. I think it's just an annoying setting.
It is an annoying setting. Like, who doesn't get their phone from either vibration or sound, and you actually need a fucking strobe light in your pocket to go.
But anyways, the Alamo Drafthouse has a reputation of strict policies, and it's like a movie theater for like film fans, not just casual viewers. So I'm really
No, they
jealous
do a
of
lot of shit there. Like John Leguizamo opened a premiere of Moulin Rouge there. They get all kinds of shit going on there all the time, and yeah, it's pretty tight. It's pretty tight.
Yeah. Did we mention that Cruel Intentions got a theatrical run for its 20th anniversary on the podcast? Did we talk about this?
No, but I did love that movie, and that soundtrack hurt my soul.
Yeah, such a great trashy movie. But yeah, good times. Anyways,
Why would you say it was trashy? Look, I grew up watching this
great.
terrible.
it was great and trashy. And when I saw it, I thought Reese Witherspoon, Selma Blair, and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I
were,
thought
like, the
everything
three most
about this
attractive
just
women.
totally made sense.
I was like, these are the three most attractive women in the world, and this movie is raunchy and wonderful.
Did you ever see Cruel Intentions 2?
The straight to video shit.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
You don't need to see. You just rewatch. When would you ever get tired of Cruel Intentions? Like, just watch Wild Things and then flip back and forth, and you're good.
Fair enough, but I'm sure there's a Wild Things too.
There's probably a whole series of them. Anyways, sometimes we actually talk about movies we saw recently in a segment we call What We Watched. We don't do stars, we don't do thumbs, we don't do numbers. We have a 3-option rating system. We tell you don't do it.
A movie can go fuck itself.
Yeah, basically. Take it or leave it.
It may or may not fuck itself.
We'll explain why you may or may not like it. And the employee pick, which,
it's awesome. It's great.
Self-explanatory. All right, Josh, start things off.
Okay, so big release on Netflix. Highwaymen. Kevin Costner and our friend Woody Harrelson, a pair of Texas Rangers, come out of retirement to catch the infamous outlaws Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, that was probably the most exciting thing beyond the movie. Just me narrating it right there. It was a tougher watch, and for somebody that loves a good 50s movies and the cars and the hats and the outfits and all that, and sure, it was stylized okay, it was just very drawn on where it's just these guys. It totally focuses on their relationship, and then occasionally they're always a step behind Bonnie and Clyde, and it really, I don't know, it didn't do it for me, and it felt very phoned in. It seemed like Kevin Costner was just kind of there, and I didn't give a shit about his character. And Woody Harrelson also just seemed kind of weak all the way around. Had a couple of almost dramatic moments, because any movie this well shot can force some of that out of you, but for the most part, definitely a waste.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm like a huge fan of the director's previous work. It was John Lee Hancock, probably a fake name. He did The Rookie, The Alamo. Remember that one, Billy Bob Thornton? And
no, I do.
Someone else, yeah. The Blind Side, which was okay, but definitely like Oscar bait and overrated, forgotten since then. And Saving Mr. Banks,
except for by my mom. I think she loves The Blind Side. She's like, that poor boy.
Total mom movie. Yeah, The Blind Side. He also did The Founder, the McDonald's movie with Michael Keaton.
That was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, that was okay. Like nothing. He's pretty good, but not great. But you're saying this was a snooze fest, and for us not to Netflix it.
Yeah, I think if you got that information out of what I just said, then you did an okay job.
I'm good at reading you, man.
Good job.
All right.
What did you watch?
I'm also not going to recommend something on Netflix. I watched The Dirt, despite us talking last week. What our low expectations were. It lived up to it. Yeah. In case you don't know, this is the story of how Motley Crue came to be the most notorious rock and roll group in history. Yeah, that's kind of like a sales pitch more than a plot summary, but there's not much.
I also don't think they're the most notorious group in rock and roll history either. But
that's definitely debatable. This is directed by Jeff Tremaine, who directed the show and movies Jackass. My issue with this was I thought the casting was okay. I know a lot of people made, a big deal out of Machine Gun Kelly playing Tommy Lee. I don't have an opinion on Machine Gun Kelly. I thought he was interesting enough. It's that everything felt so generic and tame. Like this is supposed to be the sex, drugs, and rock and roll of it was so like cleaned up and glossy, and again had that generic like Netflix feel that I complained about in Velvet Buzzsaw. That it just kind of just nerfed everything. Like
just seemed like filler content, right?
It felt like Workaholics type vibe, and I like not as funny as Workaholics, but you know what I'm saying. Like it wasn't raunchy. It never felt dangerous or raunchy. And there's like these huge death moments in this movie that I did not think were earned. Like the movie was not good enough to like fucking immortalize these horrific things that happen to people. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean it does have some interest though. Like I wasn't bored with it, but it's not good. Is
Pamela Anderson in this movie?
No one plays. I don't think they got to Pamela Anderson in that story. I think they got up to Heather Locklear as far as like ex-wives, ex-girlfriends of Tommy Lee. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, it's perfect. Like I guess if you want something on the background while you eat Taco Bell for 30 minutes and pass out Friday night, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great half pay attention movie. Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. You saw a movie I really enjoy, Bone Tomahawk, from the director of dragged across concrete, and
Ooh, that was a forced sentence.
yeah, because I was trying to remember the movie, and Brawl in Cell Block 99. S.
Yes, sir.
Craig Zahler. Is that why you saw this movie? Because you just saw Dragged Across
That is
Concrete?
correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. I wanted to finish out the series of movies, and I remember you mentioning, and I didn't realize how good the cast was either. So all in all, it was just a great installment, and so that was his first jam.
Yeah, first major jam, for sure.
Wow. No, that's a good jam to fucking start your first major shit on. Kurt Russell, perfectly at home with his fucking mutton chops and mustache, doing what he does best, serving justice and doing what's right. And Patrick Wilson, who I love so much when he is in these roles where he gains some imminent rage in some way. I feel like you remember how he developed from a calm and cool character in Hard Candy and then just turned into this sadistic underlying, creature of sorts, where you can just tell that he's so good at emotional range that I love watching him progress with his character studies, because they're just fun and fun in a way of like just really interesting and enjoyable to watch. But as far as the movie goes, which if you don't know what it's about, because I haven't said shit about it, in the dying days of the Old West, an elderly sheriff and his posse set out to rescue their town's doctor from cannibalistic cave dweller type Native American, maybe not 100%.
Yeah, they're really depicted as savages, which
right. So they made. Yeah, it was. I feel like, if anything, it was some type of offshoot cult type that derived from some Native Americans. I don't know. Can't look too far into it because they definitely have features and the hair and a lot of face paint and all that stuff. So it's right in there, but I don't know. So anyways, they're fucking monsters though, which is crazy. And that was the only part of this movie that kind of had me on the shelf of like close to not within reality. Mm-hmm. Just because of how ridiculous those creature type people were. But all in all, I enjoyed the journey. The violence was just as brutal, and damn, what they did to Homie Upside Down was fucked up.
Yeah, man. And, like you said, like, the violence was disturbing, and we watched.
Oh, and David Arquette.
Yeah, dude.
Yay.
It's pretty brutal. Like I said before, this director loves to crack bones and show bone splitting, and he does find, like, he pulls the darkness out of these like mainstay actors: Kurt Russell, Mel Gibson, Vince
what they
Vaughn.
did with the flask to Homie.
Yeah. But I did think the violence stands out, but it was a really good movie and an awesome debut. Like, it just had a unique feel to it, and was super interested from start to finish.
Kind of had that Hold the Dark feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Bit.
Yeah, for sure. So is this an employee pick?
I would say so. This is an employee dick pic.
Okay. Don't know why you added that, but...
Don't know either. Yeah. Just did it.
All right. Done. I did visit the theaters this past week and saw The Beach Bum.
All right.
Dude, yes. The Beach Bum is a good time. It is the best way to describe it. Just picture like Big Lebowski, but without the robbery plot. This is about a rebellious stoner named Moondog who lives his life by his own rules. What a cheesy tagline, but a really cool movie. Matthew McConaughey plays Moondog. This is directed by Harmony Korine. You probably know Harmony Korine from Spring Breakers. That's like his biggest movie. He also did Gummo back in the day and was the writer for kids. So he likes to look at, the people that live on the edges of civilization, to say the least, or like morally questionable people.
You said the least.
Yeah. I said more. So you got Matthew McConaughey in this. Snoop Dogg plays a rapper named Lingerie.
Yeah, Lingerie, right? He goes by Ray. Lingerie,
yeah, he's like the R&B version of Snoop Dogg. It's not a stretch for him at all.
That's true.
Isla Fisher plays Moondog's wife. They have a very open relationship in this, but it's mostly like a portrait of the character, Matthew McConaughey. You just have such a good time, and you do hang around with him almost doing nothing, but you get such a feel for the character. And, this is a real person that exists in every beach town, at least one of them, if not more. And there's a version of that person, even if there is no body of water nearby, that hangs out at your dive bars. And I thought it was just a really good depiction. It wasn't exploitive or like laughing at that person. He's a poet that maybe people take a little too serious. And they definitely play that for its pretentiousness. Like they play off that.
Do you feel like this had any good emotional development for the character beyond the? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm like. Was it just a good time, or did you actually feel kind of inspired by his character and the story he's going through?
Well, yeah, like Isla Fisher, and then they have a.
I do love her to death.
Together.
I love her.
Yeah,
I love her so much.
So it's probably like her best performance ever. One of McConaughey's best performances. Same for Snoop, even though he's playing a rapper.
And Snoop Dogg, best Oscar goes to Snoop Dogg.
Her character gives meaning to the whole story, and she gives him an ultimatum in a very unique way that challenges him, and it all unrolls in. It's a wild story, but it feels authentic. It never feels like ridiculous, and it has a good meaning. And then also Martin Lawrence comes back and fucking reminds you that he used to be the most entertaining guy in TV and in movies, arguably for like a decade. And his fucking sequence in this, I was dying. The loudest I laughed all year in the movies, at home or in theaters, was the fucking Martin Lawrence sequence and Matthew McConaughey. That alone is worth checking this out. So yeah, man, I thought it was great. I love this movie. It's an employee pick. If it's still in theaters, go see it because it's not going to be there for long. And you want to support shit like this so Harmony Korine and other like, independent filmmakers can put shit out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but definitely like a more of a portrait. But there's a plot. If you wait on there's a plot. It doesn't really get started right away like most movies, but that's okay, man. It's really fucking good.
All right. Okay. Okay. So employee pick of the bum. Pick your bum.
The beach bum.
The beach bum. So I binged out Santa Clarita Diet season 3 on Netflix now. The underlying story, if you don't know already, Drew Barrymore, Timothy Olyphant, Sheila and Joel are married real estate agents in Santa Clarita. God, fuck it.
California?
Yeah, no. I just totally instead I just let the fall happen.
Okay.
So when Sheila dies and turns into some form of the undead, their lives take a dark turn, where he continues to agree to be married to an undead person, and not really sure the complications intimately with that, but he definitely helps her find people to murder and eat. So the fun thing about this is I like that this show has had different storylines progress throughout each season. It's not a redundant repeat situation. There's actually some backstory happening as to why this happened to her. Some other, I don't want to get too far into it, but basically there's like some type of cult type people that, fight against the people that she is now. There's a whole bunch of other things going on. Wow, there's some really quippy, hilarious situations. And I think the family as a whole, the kids involved as well, there's just so many good people in this. The waitress is in this from Always Sunny.
Oh, yeah, I did see that on one of the trailers.
Yeah, there's definitely just a good roundabout cast, and I think it's an enjoyable show. And it's not too gruesome, of course. It's kind of a little bit lighter, but you definitely still do see some stuff, and Drew Barrymore does like to make you feel a little uncomfortable with it sometimes. My favorite, though, is the zombie, Gary, that was like her first kill in like the first season. If you haven't caught that, spoiler, suck it. And he's just great. Like he kind of becomes this zombie head of himself that lives with them, and it's that's a fun storyline.
Interesting. It looked too sitcom-y for me, man. That's why I never checked it out.
Timothy Olyphant makes it really fun, though. Just they both do. They're two good people that happen to be put in a situation to make something that is definitely watchable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's okay. He's not for me personally, he's not someone that would get to watch it. But I'm taking by what you're saying. It's an employee pick. Like you're recommending this thing.
Yeah, you've taken it and you've ran with it, and there it is.
All right. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Bone Tomahawk is on Prime Video and Hoopla.
The Hooplas.
The Hoopla. I checked out Electric Children on Hoopla, which is
Are the children electric?
free. Oh wow, this one's also
No, I have no fucking clue though. Honestly, I'm actually kind of asking. I didn't read the summary.
Okay, I will explain in non-dad joke form that Electric Children is about Rachel. She's a teenager born and raised in a Mormon community. I've been watching a lot of cult movies. I don't know what's going on, but
Maybe you're gonna join one.
maybe.
Don't drink Kool-Aid.
This girl is raised in a Mormon community with very limited technology. It's like Mormon, but it's also like Amish as well. I didn't know. I guess that's like a segment of Mormonism. So she believes she's been impregnated by listening to music on a cassette tape. And she escapes to go to Vegas and find her father, in quotations, of her miracle baby. It's written, directed by Rebecca Thomas, and starring Julia Gardner, who is excellent. And this is another one of those independent movies that's like carried by an actor. You may know her from, she was in Americans. I don't know if you watch that series.
Mm-mm.
She was really good in that. But she's in Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. Do you remember the girl that had the Joseph
Gordon-Levitt girl?
The Joseph Gordon-Levitt sequence, the JGL sequence. Do you know what I'm talking about? The curly hair blonde. Yeah, it's that girl. Yeah, dude.
She's also in Ozark.
Okay, there you go. I didn't watch Ozark, but yeah, that's right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she's friends with. I've seen her like communicating with Jason Bateman on Twitter or something.
That is probably why.
Yeah. But yeah, she does a really good job in this. Billy Zane also.
Billy Zane.
I know you're a fan of, is pretty good. And Liam Aiken, who plays her like one fellow teen in that community that leaves with her. And there's a Culkin alert. You got Roy Culkin in this.
Okay.
He plays one of the stoner skater, like stereotypical band guys that she runs into. But yeah, man, she really plays the character well. It's very believable that she's like this fish out of water culturally. God, I can't talk this late.
Katropoli.
Yeah, I blame the almond milk I had. It won't let me talk. But yeah, okay. Julia Gardner carries this movie on her shoulders and makes it as good as it could be possibly. But it's a really interesting story. It's an employee pick for me. I think stuff like this can easily like fall down the road of stereotypes and, just copy and paste different cultural stereotypes into a generic coming of age story. But no, this isn't like that. It's got some really good moments and really good acting, and it's worth checking out.
Okay. All right. Well, if you weren't aware, and have you seen the first season of Happy, Frank?
No. You are among a handful of people that keep recommending it to me.
And it's on Netflix now.
I know.
The first season, anyways.
I have commitment issues with TV series, man.
Dude, they're not even that long episodes, and one will get you so fucking hooked. That's the point.
Yeah.
Just watch one episode.
Like a pusher.
Just watch one episode, Frank. Come on. What's wrong, Frank? Don't you want to be cool?
Tell us why we should watch this.
So season 2, I saw the first episode, and it is just as good and interesting and fun as season 1. I don't want to get too deep in the storyline, but basically the imaginary friend, Happy, who now exists surrounding our main favorite drunken, retired, suspended, fired cop, who's played by our favorite Law and Order man. What's his name, Frank?
Oh, you're really making me do this again.
No, I just wanted to do it now.
I don't know. Do you know it? You watch the fucking show, man.
I know. But you watch Law and Order.
No, I don't. Christopher Meloni.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. That's how long it takes to Google something, kids.
I know. I don't have hands, though, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
So it was... What? Are we still going?
I was going to say we get a tax credit for having you on the podcast, but that is cruel.
Wow. Oh, wow. Frank is dark.
Because you have no humor, we get a tax credit.
Yeah, that's good. So, anyways, this one now is, instead of a Christmas theme, is more Easter Bunny based with a very, very creepy looking fucking guy that looks like kind of...
When you say Easter Bunny based, it sounds like someone's making a food and they're like, yeah, this is Easter Bunny
You just put you put your Easter Bunny base in here, and then you mix in your Goya, and then you mix in some garlic powder, and you throw your salt and pepper, just a pinch.
The good thing about that accent is it can't be offensive because that's
no one knows what the fuck it is.
Literally from another planet.
Yeah, no one knows what it is. It's completely invented up in my brain.
All right, Easter Bunny base, so it's an Easter themed show.
Yeah, well, but there's a fucking evil bunny.
Okay, I like that. I'm a fan of movies with evil bunnies.
Okay, but the evil bunny looks like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, like a big sex Gimp dominatrix bunny.
So on a scale from Donnie Darko to Smoochie, where is this bunny falling?
That's I don't know. I'm still lying on Pulp Fiction. He looks more like a fucking Gimp bunny.
Okay, so it's a leather
It's like a
and zipper
yes,
bunny. Okay,
yes,
that's
yeah,
interesting.
and like that's correct. So at least see, I presented the image. You just didn't want it. But it's a really fun show. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. Patton Oswalt does the voice of Happy, and he is just really great. It's really fun to watch these animated animation versus real time situation kind of develop.
Cool. So
As he waits for acknowledgement.
that fart noise is that a recommendation?
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that you should watch if you haven't, and maybe we can all force Frank to do so someday.
I mean, you just described a series of random things that happen, so I don't know if that sold me.
I feel like you should just watch some things without even needing to be sold. You should just do it.
But do you understand the point of this podcast is to recommend things and do it?
Yeah,
well?
but I mean, like, I recommended it, and then you never watched it, and then here we are.
Okay. I don't listen to the show, though.
Really? Not once?
I'm going to make you go again. We're going to practice this review thing by telling me about The Circle on Netflix.
Okay, so the storyline for this is that a ridiculous amount of people are held captive in a completely dark room, all on these little circular panel things, and basically immediately people start waking up and they start dying. It's just like some type of electric bolt of lightning comes out of this little orb in the ground and murders one. There'd be these ominous tones that would happen, and it was basically turned into this timer where people would constantly keep dying while these people tried to have a discussion on what the fuck we're doing, how we're getting out of here, who should go, who shouldn't go, this type of situation. And I think it's more of a political commentary of like social class, racial issues, that kind of thing, which it's a little cliche in that aspect, but they play out pretty much every type of, old people should die next because they're already old. That guy's probably a thug and a criminal because he's black, or maybe this and that, things,
so-
all of these, all of these
stereotypes come out, like all the bigotry and hate.
everything in any format, while certain people try and push their way further into staying alive. As they discover that the game is played by strategically, and there is a manner in which they can determine who's going to die next. But the ability to stop it, nobody knows. So I think it develops that conversation kind of interesting. If just it's more of like a water cooler movie that you would watch and be like, so what would you do, and this and that kind of thing. Maybe like it opens some discussions for how people would think if everyone literally has another 5 seconds and, one of 50 people in a room is going to die, and then so on and so forth. So kind of interesting on that point. I'd say take it or leave it, really, if you're looking for some filler and something just a little odd, but I don't think anything really stood out about it. And the ending was also pretty weak.
So
How'd I do there? Did I nail it? Did I come full circle?
A take
Snap.
Levy sounds like, right?
That's what I said, if you
Yeah.
didn't just hear that.
I'm trying to adopt the takey Levy thing, man. You not feeling
Okay.
that?
Well, no, I'm not. Not feeling it.
All right. There's a movie that I saw that like late last year. Do you remember I was talking about? I convinced you to watch it. That
There's a
reminds me
movie
of this.
late last year that
Yeah.
had this guy in it that
No,
was about this thing.
It was about like a house and like a comet went over it. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Coherence.
Coherence. Yeah, dude. Coherence.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this is like just watch Coherence instead of this. Coherence is really good.
Okay, well, way to shit on that.
How ironic we discuss something called coherence as we continue to be the opposite of that.
Fair enough.
Incoherent. I'm gonna give you one more shot, Josh. I feel
Even though I
this-
feel like I did okay.
yeah, you did okay, but
Okay.
similar to one that annoying guy says that wasn't good enough. I can't hear you at a live event. I need you to give
And
me.
everyone flips them off.
Yeah, it's the worst. I need
Mm-hmm.
you to give me one more review.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Let me put on my face.
Whoa, bro. Could you turn down the enthusiasm just a bit?
Okay. All right. We're in.
So, Frank, what I saw just moments ago before this podcast, I watched Six Souls, which I don't know if you've seen this. Quite interesting. It's on Netflix, and you can check it out today. Starring Julianne Moore in a story of a female forensic psychiatrist discovers that all but one of her patients' multiple personalities are murder victims. She will have to find out what's happening before her time is finished. Fuck. That was not a really great plot summary. I think it's more, and the reason why I looked at this, it was, it has that kind of possession-esque feel, but also just really compelling performance by both Julianne Moore and homie that plays Adam / David / 17 other characters, I would say. But it's really interesting. She goes into it completely like just jaded, thinks science can solve these things. But the guy shows up in a wheelchair in his first interview with her, and then her father is in the back, calls him on a phone, asks to speak with someone else, and the guy there's some bone cracking and sounds and, those types of like gross sounds, and then he turns into this other dude. Not like physical transformation, mind you, but there's something happening for sure. Played by Jonathan Rhys Meyers, and there's about a whole bunch of different characters that he ends up playing, but it's really interesting on whether or not he's faking it or not faking it, and as the story develops, you kind of see this more science fiction-based situation where a little bit of God and religion come into play, and the factor of whether or not you believe and don't, and why you gave up your religion, and how there's definitely some underlying tones in there. But all in all, I don't think it was that pushy in that manner. It was just a really good story with a compelling relationship between these two. I would kind of say in the relationship between her and that Hannibal Lecter thing, you can find that here, where except the character is a little bit more likable than Hannibal Lecter.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch it, so I would say, you painted a pretty good picture, man.
Okay.
So
I guess. Well,
feel like
I would say employee pick.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I would say you recommended TV shows, kind of hit or miss on the movies, but Six Souls sounds like the movie you'd recommend the most this week.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. I would say Bone Tomahawk.
True. Yeah, Bone Tomahawk's awesome. I want to watch all those movies together.
That would be a good marathon of bone crushing.
Yeah, that'd be a good diet because you won't want to eat for hours after that. All right, that's what we watched this week. Very coherent part of the podcast ish. Let's talk about what's available to watch this week, aka WTWTW. On the Netflix, Ultraman has been adapted into anime form.
Ultraman.
Yeah, this is where Shinjiro Hayata, I really should practice these before the podcast. This young person learns that his father has passed away.
There's a bro, and this bro lost his dad.
Yeah, his father passed on the Ultraman factor to him and fights against evil. It is Ultra, it is a man.
There's a fact.
Out now, as is Kevin Hart, Irresponsible. It's his new Netflix special. I tried to watch 20 of the minutes of this, by the way. Still not for me. Just don't. There was 5 minutes about how he beat the shit out of his son. And he's like, I took away my son's phone and he said something. I punched him right in the face. I don't know, dude. That's just, it's not funny. I'm not saying it's offensive.
You don't punch children on a regular basis?
Yeah, it's about abusing his child. I don't know, man. Just not his.
What, you don't have a sense of humor, Frank?
Not for me. It's just he's just yelling at you the whole time. Not a fan. Anyway.
He does squeak a lot.
Squeaks and yells and he's just playing the Napoleon complex out. He's talented. I just not for me. Anyways, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 2 is out. This story follows her as Sabrina celebrated her 16th birthday. She had to choose between the Witch World, or her family, and Human World. It's based on the Archie comic. A bunch of my friends really like this. I tried to check it out during a hangover, and I only watched one episode. Kind of just passed out. I keep being told that I should rewatch this show.
Meh. I'm still meh.
Did you watch any of it?
No, I'm good. Don't wanna.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not gonna.
It's out there, as
It's
is
not happening.
The Unicorn Store, which is Brie Larson's major directorial debut, because she has directed some other things, about a woman named Kit who receives a mysterious invitation that would fulfill her childhood dreams.
This does seem cool. I did like the trailer for this.
I've heard bad things about it, but I enjoy Brie Larson so much. I'm probably going to just check it out. Yeah, fuck them critics. We'll tell you how
Fuck
wrong
them
we
critics.
were for watching it next week.
Yeah, fuck you. It's called. There's unicorn in the title, bitch.
Yeah, it feels like this is it's been a while. It should already happen, but a Quiet Place streaming debut on Hulu and Amazon Prime. If you don't know, this is about a post-apocalyptic world where a family is forced to live in silence while hiding from monsters with ultra-sensitive hearing. I thought it was great, like one of the best genre movies of last year. Just nailed the tone and feel. It was one of the most tense movies. Really well done by John Krasinski, and his wife Emily Blunt was amazing in it as well. And all the children actors were awesome. It made a lot of tough decisions that similar movies, especially post-apocalyptic movies, tend to be a little too feel-good. Yeah, they tend to be a little too feel good. I don't need that.
Like Sandy B trying to throw that kid out of the boat.
Yeah, this is good stuff. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Very much an employee pick on my end.
Yeah, no, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yep. HBO Go has season 2 of one of my favorite shows from last year, Wyatt Cenac's Problem Areas. I do watch TV shows, Josh. A lot of them tend to be shows like this, where comedian Wyatt Cenac examines a wide range of social and cultural problems facing Americans. So our media sucks, especially mainstream media, and one of the ways people can learn is through entertainment, like Daily Show type stuff.
Like Last Week Tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Wyatt Cenac is a Daily Show alum. You know, him, John Oliver.
I love John Oliver.
Hassan Minaj.
That's Hassan Minaj, yeah.
Michelle Wolf. Like, you know, it all happens. So this is probably my favorite of those, honestly, even more than Last Week Tonight.
Oh, that's so fucked, though. He's so good.
Yeah, it doesn't go for like the big over-the-top spectacle at the end. It this tries to like really break it down, the issues with it, and I have a newfound appreciation for Wyatt Cenac. I think he's trying to do something really good with the show, and he's trying to like really give you the facts and like change everyday situations for everyday people, and also make it entertaining. It's like a Mr. Rogers vibe, but for adults. Check it out. I think it's really good. It's very bingeable too. Check out season 1.
All right, okay.
HBO Go also has Native Son, which is a HBO original. It's about a young African-American living in Chicago. He enters a new seductive world of money and power after he's hired as a chauffeur for a affluent...
A chauffeur.
A chauffeur for a rich
person.
I know. So, yeah, it looks pretty interesting, as does The Nun, which if you go to the movies or watch TV, that fucking trailer with that jump scare, I feel like I saw the trailer 100 times for 6 months. It's about a priest with a haunted past and a novice on the threshold of her final vows, and they're sent to the Vatican to investigate the death of a young nun in Romania and confront the malevolent force in the form of a demonic nun. Looks pretty decent. When I'm in the mood for just some, you know, thrill ride horror movie, that's kind of what I get from this. This is the prequel, I think, to fucking one of those Blumhouse movies. I forget which one.
The Priest.
It's not The Purge. It's God, we're so bad at guessing today.
Yeah, we have no words for things that we usually know.
What's the other one with Ethan Hawke? With
the Reformed?
No.
The Ethan Hawke had a lot, dude. Okay.
Anyways, VOD rental.
Daybreakers.
No.
Oh.
I appreciate you trying to get further and further away. Insidious. I think it's the prequel to Insidious. I'm probably wrong. This is like good podcasts have the moments where people are like, "You guys are so fucking dumb," and there's like yelling.
Yeah. Well, guess what? We can't fucking hear you.
It's The Conjuring. It's the prequel to The Conjuring.
Okay, figured it out. It was the one where they clapped the hands.
Yes. You just turned on all the lights in my house, so keep it down. You just turn them off. On VOD rental, the movies that at least one of us has seen, Bumblebee, I thought it was pretty good. The Transformers reboot, and now apparently they're starting a new Transformers universe that is more like that and less like the shitball movies we got before that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I've had enough of fucking Well, no, that would be rude to say, but I've had enough of the Linkin Park themed fucking
Michael Bay
trench.
bullshit.
Yeah, I'm just, it's blah 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 blah. Fucking look at me, Shia LaBeouf. Look at me, hot chick. I'm over it, man. Make a fun, kid, enjoyable adventure movie that, I don't know, just better.
True. Haley Stanfield was awesome in this. The movie had a lot of heart, had good 80s nostalgia, just good vibes. And it's something like if you have a niece, nephew, child, you got to babysit a kid, it's a good watch. It's really good for children, and it's entertaining enough for, jerks like me and you. Vice was not. I despise this movie, one of my least favorite movies of last year. Don't really know much to say. Did you check this out yet, or did I just talk you off of the Vice?
You did.
Okay. It's such a mess, and it's already been like rebranded as being pro Dick Cheney. Adam McKay just kind of talks down to his audience and doesn't really accomplish much, and admits throughout the movie that it's kind of a fool's errand to even try to make this movie. So I just really didn't get the point. It was a mess, dude.
That's fucked up. You basically are just like Christian Bale. All this weight you put on and as fat as you got meant nothing. It was just
I thought
a complete waste of time.
Were good. I mean, Christian Bale, Amy Adams, like these are people we love for good reason because they're fantastic actors. But the movie was just a fucking mess. You talked about The Mule last week. That one's also on VOD rental.
Yeah, check it out. It's a good watch.
Yeah. And we'll wrap this up by talking about what's in theaters. 2 pretty big releases that I'm excited about. We're getting to that part of the year where there's movies out that I want to see.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, which is great. I just,
You're just like, fucking, it's just no words.
Dude,
I just miss good movies.
Yeah, man. Like, this year's kind of sucked so far. I look at my top 15
but Us
list.
came out, so, meh.
Yeah, Us, The Beach Bum. Those are good. The Standoff
It
at
only
Sparrow
takes
Point.
one for me. Yeah, and honestly, the one that you didn't watch that I did that I was telling you, the Stony Brook, I think.
Yeah.
You gotta check that out, man.
Cool. 4 good movies so far this year, but I think things are getting better. Pet Sematary is out. This is about, of course, Dr. Lewis Creed and his wife, Rachel, relocate from Boston to a rural Maine with their 2 young children in a creepy house in the creepy woods. They discover there's a mysterious burial ground hidden deep in the woods near their new home. And John Lithgow's there, and he looks fucking awesome. And this movie looks cool. It's Pet Sematary. I'm going to see it.
Yeah. The only thing that you see how like CGI they made that cat.
No, dude. I watched the first trailer, and then I heard the next 2 trailers gave away a lot of the plot.
What do you mean? It's the same fucking movie that we saw a long time ago.
Yeah, I forgot most of it though, and
What do you mean you forgot? It's not that much. Really?
Moving on, Shazam also comes out this week, and this is about a streetwise 14-year-old foster kid who can turn into an adult superhero. This one looks fun, silly, a welcome addition to the superhero movies because it seems to have a very unique style compared to the other ones.
Yeah, well, DC's finally maybe doing something right.
They're just trying everything. They're throwing everything at the wall instead of throwing the same grayish, boringish, like 1990s philosophy movie.
Yeah, we're just over the arc, story, up, battle, over, good guy win.
Exactly. So, pretty interesting week in movies. Anything that we can look forward to you talking about next week, man?
I don't think anyone's looking forward to me talk next week.
Wow, don't be so down on yourself. I connect with you every week on Skype and do this podcast.
Honestly, beyond those are pretty much the 2 new releases are the only 2 jams. I mean, if I can find Us again in a better theater setting, I could be down to see that again.
Cool. Yeah, I'm probably going to watch some random stuff again. I'm going to hit you guys up with a bunch of recommendations from 2012 to 2014.
The year Frank was in a coma.
Yeah, my coma years. But yeah, man, we thanks for bearing with us. I think it's past my bedtime. I don't know about you, but we were a little off our game, but I think we did our job.
I think
recommend some stuff to you guys.
Yeah, no. We watched it. We told you about it. You're going to check it out, or maybe you're not. That's kind of how we do this.
You know who would be proud? Fucking Moondog would be proud of that, man.
Moondog.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.